Alright, welcome everyone and thanks for watching. This will be a short tutorial on the WoW add-on grid and a couple grid statuses add-ons. I listed them all in the beginning of the video and links will be down in the description. So what I'm going to show you in this video is exactly how I set up my grid to display all my HOTS and statuses that I want. Real quickly I'll go through and just show you basically what I'm tracking here. In the upper left corner, I'm tracking my rejuvenation, and you'll see as it ticks down when it starts to expire, turns yellow, turns red, and expires. In the upper right hand corner, I'm tracking my regrowth, obviously a much shorter HOT now in patch 4.0.1. In the center text 2, I'm tracking my life bloom, and I track it to the 10th of a second. You can see this displays a little bit differently. This is colored by stack. So 1 stack is red, 2 stacks yellow, 3 stacks are green. In the lower right hand corner, I track my wild growth. So that's how I track all my HOTS. In the lower left corner is where I have a little red box pop up. That's aggro. Good thing to know if you're a healer. So what I'm going to do real quick is just walk you through the entire menu. So if you so choose, you can configure exactly how I have mine. So open up the grid here, and now this is the grid as compatible with 4.0.1. It's a newer version, and you used to have to download an add-on for center text 2, but it now comes right in with the newest grid. So real quickly we'll run through frame here. You want to enable center text 2 indicator. I choose to show my tooltip out of combat, meaning if you hover over, I'll get my tooltip in the lower right corner. If I'm in combat, I won't get tooltips over my grid. Center text length, the amount of characters it shows. Obviously my character's name is Moonsinnah, it shows moons, 5 characters. Healing bar opacity is 0.5. I choose to invert my bar color. That's what it would look like otherwise. I like to see that because I have class colors enabled, and it makes it very, very obvious who exactly I'm looking at a glance. Icon border size I choose as 1. Icon size I choose as 14. Enable icon cooldown frame, enable icon stack text, and enable mouse over highlight are all checked. I choose my border size as 1. My corner size is 6. My font is, I believe, the default font, Frizz QT something or other. I don't know what the full font name is. Font outline is thin. Font size is 12. Frame height I have currently at as 33. Okay, you can make the frame taller or shorter. I like mine right about here. Frame texture I have mine as gradient. Frame width I have as 80. Orientation of frame is horizontal, meaning as I lose hit points, I'll show you real quickly here. Okay, the bar moves down horizontally, left to right or right to left. So you could switch that to vertical if you want, and it would change just like you see there. Okay, moving along. One of my add-ons, grid mana bars. You choose which side you want the mana bar to appear. There's the left side. I think that might be the default. I like mine at the bottom, and the size is 10, just so I can see mana there. Okay, corner text. This is going to be important because this is what you'll be using to see all your hot text there. You want this at a good number where you can see it, obviously, but you don't want it too big. I like to keep mine just small enough that it's easily noticeable. Corner text font size I have is 12, and the text font again, Quiz Forgiato TT. Outline text I don't choose any. Here's what it would look with a thin or a thick outline. I like it nice and thin. Okay, indicators. I'm just going to go through and show you what I've changed. I believe this is the default for border. I'm going to show you anyway. Debuff type curse and poison. I choose those because those are what I can dispel. If you spec into it as of patch 4.0.1, you'll want to enable magic so you know what you can remove. Healing bar I leave as default. Center text I leave as default. Center text 2. What you want to do is go in and make sure you check HOTS My Life Plume Stack Colored. Okay, that's what's going to give you your life bloom stacks there. Center icon, let's see what's different here. Okay, I leave these on curse, magic, disease, or poison just because generally it's going to influence my healing, so I like to know about those. Okay, raid debuff, raid target icon player. Have those both checked. Raid debuff will show you things like Legion Flames in TOC or Incinerate Flesh, or specific debuffs for boss encounters. Raid target icon player will put icons right on your grid. So when you're looking at the grid, if you're in a pug, for instance, a pug raid or something, and the tanks are marked and you're not familiar with the tanks, there it is. Okay, and that's where I have it set up to go. I'll show you that later. Okay, top left corner. Okay, top left corner, right left corner. The corners I don't use except for the bottom left corner. I have that as my aggro alert. The reason I don't use those is because I use corner text, which I'll show you now. Corner text top left, I have HOTS My Rejuvenation. So like I showed you before, there's the rejuve. Top right, HOTS My Regrowth. Bottom left, I don't believe I have anything because I use that as my aggro. You could use something there and then just have your aggro alert have a higher priority, but I choose not to. And bottom right, HOTS My Wild Growth. Frame alpha is default, and mana bar I leave as default. Okay, that's a big menu. We're out of there. That's the indicators. Okay, now for layout. Solo layout, this is pretty much default by group 5. Party layout by group 5 with pets, so you can see hunter pets and warlock pets and all that. 10 player by group 10, 25 player by group 25, battleground by 40, arena by 5. I like horizontal groups, meaning my party will add from left to right. So if I have two groups, I will have 5 columns and 2 rows. That's how I like it. And frame lock. Once you have your grid situated where you like it, exactly where you want it. I have mine right here because when I'm in a 25 man range, it'll fit right between my frames here. It'll fit perfectly. So lock that. Padding I choose as 0, spacing I choose as 0. Scale right now is 110%. Play with that until the text is a good size, everything is a good scale, and play with it until you get it to fit where you want to. Okay, layout advanced, layout anchor top left, group anchor top left, this is all default. Okay, you can set up different profiles, so if you have different characters or whatnot, you can load profiles quick. I use grid on all my characters, but I really only rely on it on my healer. Okay, status, another big menu. Let's see. Auras. Okay, I don't believe you have to mess with these. All those are default because what you are going to mess with is my HOTS. So, HOTS, HOT count. Color is green, priority is 95. Count life bloom as 1 HOT per stack is unchecked, range filter is unchecked, and enable is checked. Now, HOTS My Life Bloom. Here's where you're going to set up your colors where you want. So for 1 stack I have red, Color 2 for 2 stacks I have yellow. Color 3 for 3 stacks I have green. Priority is 99. Threshold to activate color 2 is 4. Threshold to activate color 3 is 2, meaning seconds remaining. So when I get down to 4 seconds and 2 seconds, it'll change colors, except Life Bloom is the one that works differently. So I'll explain that with the Rejuve and Regrowth in a minute. Hot's my Life Bloom stack, same thing, same colors, same priority, enable. Hot's my Regrowth. I use the same colors, green, yellow, and red, priority 97 or 99, somewhat high. If you're not showing anything else in that spot, it doesn't matter what the priority is. If you were showing something else in that spot, for instance, aggro warning, you'd want to make sure whichever is more important has a higher priority. I choose not to show the hot counter. Threshold to activate color 2 is 4, and threshold to activate color 3 is 2. So there we have the green, yellow, and the red. Hot's my rejuvenation, same thing. Colors, green, yellow, red, high priority, 4, 2, enable. Same thing for wild growth. Okay, ray debuff is default, you don't have to mess with it. Range is default. Aggro alert, like I say, I choose the red box, I think that is default. Incoming heals. Okay, here's a couple options for grid status. Mana bars, or I'm sorry, grid mana bars. Grid mana bars, set your priority. I choose to ignore non-mana, meaning energy and runic power and focus. I don't choose to see that because generally speaking it's not my problem. If DK's low on runic power, that's his deal. There's not much I can do to influence it. Previously I chose to show this because our revitalized talent regenerated runic power on DKs. It doesn't anymore, so I don't worry about that. Okay, raid target icons, that's default. Everything else is default. So that probably took longer than I expected, but hopefully it was a decent tutorial. And what you'll get is a really nice way to manage your hots. And once you get used to this, once I got used to it, my healing throughput increased immensely, because what you have is you're seeing counters on all your hots, and it's helping you with the colors to know when they're going to expire. You can refresh at the very last second, saving your mana, and it's real easy to effectively roll hots on a whole raid, or make sure the life bloom never drops on the tank. Another thing that's nice is having the life bloom to the 10th of the second. You know exactly when you can refresh it with regrowth. You leave a little over 2 seconds and it should refresh. Of course mine didn't there because I'm lagging, I suppose. Anyway, regardless, thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe, please rate, give me a thumbs up, or leave me a comment. If there's anything I missed, let me know and I'd be happy to go back and pick it up. I encourage all Resto Druids that are using a different add-on to give this a try. If you have something extremely similar, I know Voodoo can be configured extremely similar. Maybe don't want to try it, but if you're a clicker like me and you like to click your heals, I think this is the best way to do it, and it's just the easiest way to manage all your hots and always know exactly how much time you have left on your hots. So the only other thing I'll mention is the add-on that I'm using to assign these clicks to cast my spells is called Click, or Cleek, C-L-I-Q-U-E, and there's a link in the description. So you have here all my spells and what they're bound to. Rejuvenation is my left button. Life Bloom is Alt left. Innervate Alt Shift left. Nourish is Shift right, etc., etc. You can set these to whatever you want. I have a Lachesis mouse. It is a 7-button mouse. I use 5 of them. and it works out great for me. I use the shift modifier and the alt modifier, and I have every spell bound, and it works out great. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Hit the like button, leave me a comment, subscribe, and I hope this helped. Cheers.